Okay, here we are. Man, where do we start? Well, I was looking at Joe Rogan's podcast and looking at The Office and the environment in which he did his very first episode. And I think I got a little bit of a better setup than him. Now, I don't have as much money as he had when he got started, nor does anybody know my name. But again, this is America, and it is the land of opportunity. And I've been fortunate enough in my 28 years of life to have done some things. So I decided that I wanted to start a podcast. Boom, here we go. So I'm going to call this W.I.N Daily. This is my first episode on Monday, February 22nd, 2021. And it is the first year into what we call that new 2020 movement. Headed into this year, everybody had the decade, everybody had 2020 vision. Then the pandemic happened. Everybody kind of had to readjust. Funny because right before the pandemic happened, I had just quit my job. I was running a high-end wellness center in Boca Raton, Florida. And I was coaching at St. Thomas Aquinas down in Fort Lauderdale. And most people would say I was more or less living in paradise. And you know, it's funny when you think about the bar and the expectations that everybody has and what everybody else defines as success. And I'm looking around as I'm literally working like 80, 90 hours a week, paying a pretty good amount of money for a studio apartment right on the beach. Now, I don't have much free time, and the time that I do have, I was partying my ass off. And I was living pretty good, making good money, but internally I was just empty and miserable. And I knew that it was almost a cop-out to continue to go down this road of what my peers perceived as success. So I had to make a move and I had to shake things up. And so I sold almost everything I had and I moved in with my aunt. And you know, the only thing that was beneficial about this was the fact that I'd have a studio and I knew that I was going to start a company. I had absolutely no idea what I was doing, but I decided that I was going to start. And so that was something. The beauty in that was that I was fortunate enough to, have a couple of skills, dedicate my time into something, and then the market just kind of crashed and the world stopped. So fortunately enough, I blew about $4,000 to $5,000 on stupid shit, from logos to apparel that I thought I needed, or just like random football equipment to train athletes. But I had like no website, nowhere for anyone to reach me, no rates, legitimately just no business model. And when you look on, Instagram or any social media page and you see people who are promoting something, they're promoting something and they're passionate about it, and I promote passion, but they don't even know where to start. And so the whole premise of everything I do and what my passion is coaching. I'll dive more into, my post-COVID times as these episodes go on. But before I do that, I'm just going to talk about why I'm here. I call this podcast W.I.N Daily because what I'm trying to do is influence people to think beyond what they've been taught and inspire them to figure out what their passion is and find a way to make money doing it. Now, there's only about 4 business models, but believe me when I tell you that you can monetize literally anything. And I've been fortunate enough to take my business background through my formal education. It has helped me immensely. It looks good on a resume. I could probably get a really good job if I wanted to get a job. But more or less, my formal education did not teach me anything about how to start a business. But beyond that, I was able to take that education, my business background, understand various aspects of coaching, like leading teams, inspiring others to be selfless and work for the greater good of the unit, and get a whole bunch of people aligned to work towards a common goal or a common vision, and hold them accountable and constantly reiterate that vision to keep them on track. And so the whole premise of W.I.N Daily for me is the various tools, or some of the core values that I believe in that I try to embody in my everyday life, try to just share them with the world, especially as we're in these critical times. We're still in the midst of a pandemic. America is still in a recession. We are now transitioning over from the most divisive president of all time, and our two-party system has never been more polarized. And so as a guy that actually covered this election, going door to door, kind of really probably interacted with over 100,000 American people over the course of 2 months outside of the Philadelphia area, a guy that has lived in Boston, Maryland, Minnesota, California, Florida, all different parts of the country with totally different cultures. I've been able to kind of study this American infrastructure, and then I've worked in our American education system at the collegiate level, at the high school level, also speaking in middle schools, also done some volunteer work at some kindergarten programs and preschools just with physical activity. And I've also worked in corporate America, a couple wellness centers, park and rec centers. What else have I done? Written for the school newspaper, also a freelance writer. I've done a handful of things, and so I believe I've worn many hats, and I'm here to bridge a gap. And so as I discuss bridging gaps and trying to draw parallels of just getting everybody to kind of see the world from an objective view with their own ideologies beyond, the media propaganda, how can I establish a winning formula to where I can take control in all aspects of my life, to where I can actually wake up in the morning with the fire and desire to know I'm doing what I want to do and living life on my terms, and to do it at a high level. And I think when you establish what it is that you're trying to do or who you want to be, the second you just make the decision as to this is who I'm going to be, everything else will seem to unfold, and all the extra stuff and, kind of just like the fat, I like to call it trimming the fat. It'll all just slowly subside from your life, and that's when I feel as if life truly begins. And I just want to wrap it up with this. Everything we want in life is quality over quantity. So what value is there in trying to live forever? And so don't count the days, make the days count. And Coach Wilson is here to guide you through the process of you being the best version of yourself. Because if we can all collectively be the best version of ourselves, I believe that'll not only put, our town, our community, our city, our state, our nation, but our world in a better place where we can have optimism and feel better about, the world that we're going to leave for our children. That's all I got. Excited for episode 2. Happy to grow and share my journey with you guys. Have a nice day.